starting the YouTube video. Hello and welcome to this week's live. I'm Samriddhi, your Cosmic Soul Whisperer, and I'm joining you from a really unique place, and that's why you see all this construction site stuff happening. I'm going to explain that to you. Welcome to the live of 1st June 2026. And every Monday we come together to talk about the Akashic energies of the week. As we tune into the collective energies of the week, it allows us to navigate through these energies in a smooth way, in a beautiful way, and to be more and more aligned with our Akash. So let's get straight. First of all, I want to start off by checking in and seeing how you've all been doing. So, everyone who's joining live on YouTube and Instagram, if you could just leave me a word or a phrase, if you feel like sharing, how has your day or week been? And if you're seeing this video later, I will reply to you in comments. For me, my week has been a totally, completely different plan from what I was expecting it to be. For a certain family emergency, I had to come to India. So I'm here. And I have found this really remote space in the attic. So I'm taking the live from here. That's why this really strange background. This is only because we have a lot of people coming in this home, and I just wanted to make sure that we have enough privacy to go as deep as we need to go, and to make the most of this journey. Now you may see that I'm even sweating. I just kind of like cleaned up before our live, but it's I'm moving from winter to summer, from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. So that's why it's this way. And this is the city where I was born. This is on India-China border. Not really exactly the border, but close to China, the part of India that's close to China. And in fact, the people here also look very different. They have very specific features which are closer to the Han Chinese features compared to the features of others that you see in India. They're very much Indians. So. Hi, Julie. Welcome. I'm so glad that it's all going smooth so far for you. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me, and a little explanation to why you're seeing these strange backgrounds. Actually, it's a pretty nice place from here because I'm seeing really beautiful high treetops. I'm seeing really good rooftops, and it's a very nice view from here of the mountains. Maybe I'll turn my camera around at some point and show you this lovely view as well. So let's get straight into the energies of the week. Um, so everything that has been happening so far, the carry forward energy, the energy of the sessions that I've been receiving, and yes, I have been sessions as much as I can during these little windows that I find. And the overall theme has been quite interesting. The theme has been very specifically about the second child, which is quite interesting because I'm a first child, and all the people that have been coming to me are the second child of their parents, and they're also, and I think two of them were also trying to find out the energetics of bringing in their second child into the world. So that the energy of the second child was very significant. So if you are a second child, then this week may be bringing up a lot of information specifically for you. And if you are not the second child, like I'm the first child, I'm not the second born, it may be about thinking about your the sibling after you, or the next, or the second sibling in your family. So there is that energy around that, and there is a lot of reflection and acknowledgement of what has been ignored. So welcome to everyone who's joining the live. And if you have ever thought that this particular person or you yourself have been going through stuff that has not been acknowledged, this is really now the time to acknowledge those hidden aspects of yourself. So that was one very interesting and very specific kind of a thing that I had noticed. The other thing that I was noticing was there was a lot of energy around birthing. So I met a lot of pregnant women. I met a lot of women who wanted to be pregnant. I didn't have any sessions with men in the last 1 week, but the overall thing was about pregnancy, about giving birth, about about the aspect of motherhood. So, in your life, it may come across as something that you are wanting to birth, something that you are birthing for yourself. And oh wow, okay, I'm seeing Julie says her second child uh, has her birthday today. So the coincidences never cease to stop, right? Never cease to exist. Sorry, my English and my human language is not going so well. But that's really beautiful. I remember last week when we had the energy, the violet and the indigo flame coming in. I got a picture of a beautiful bouquet that had those exact shades that was in somebody's home. You know who you are. So I love when we find these synchronicities, and it's really beautiful that in some way or another we all are in these connected experiences. So yes, the energy of the second child, that's a confirmation. The other thing is, of course, things that have been ignored are coming to a surface now to be acknowledged and to be given the value, given the space. And of course, the energy around motherhood, the energy around giving birth to creative ideas or starting something new, birthing something new. So, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're in the cycle of physical giving birth or not, this is for everyone, this is for all of us. So what is that project that you're planning to give birth to, and how are you going with it? What kind of support do you need so that you can give birth to this project? So all of those ideas have been coming up. Now the other energy that I felt was that everything was very, very lightning speed. So, welcome to everyone who's joining. So, this lightning speed energy that is not giving us time to actually sit, process, do everything in our way. It's happening in a pre-existed template way, and you're just being asked to navigate through it. That's at least the energy that I've been feeling through this whole week. Now, there have been some really interesting things that happened in for me over the last 1 week. Some beautiful conversations came through, some very interesting reflections came through, and I never experienced criticism in a way that it has come up like this before. And that also helped me know how deeply I am sitting in my work. So, if this is something that is coming up today in the live, I know that this channel space is bringing up something for you, maybe. So, there are parts of you that people who have met in the past are not aware of. And so, they are treating you like how they used to treat you before, and the person that you were before, not the person you are now. So, certain aspects may be criticized that people don't know about you yet. So I experienced that with some distant relatives who have no idea what I'm doing, and they already had their own and it was quite interesting. They also had some tips for me even before I actually do. So it was beautiful and light conversations. At the same time, it brought up something interesting for me, that some people may be coming into your life this week that are treating you the way they treated you many years ago, assuming that you're the same person. And if you're tuning into this message, I know for a fact that you are not. You have changed, you have evolved, you are transformed, transmuted, and that's what has made you this powerful, akashically aligned being that you are now. So that energy is coming through as well. So and there was something that I felt a little, like in my personal journey, I felt certain things were a little bit hurtful, and it took me some time to process, but there was ample ample support for me to be able to process that and reach my alignment back. So expanding that into the collective field, I also do feel that there is a lot of collective energy here to support you. So if you notice aspects coming up in your life where people who are new, like they were there in your life before but they've suddenly come into your life now, or people who may not have an idea about you and they're kind of interacting with you in a way that fits their framework of who you are, uh, you will get support. Your inner resources, your guidance system, and maybe even people around you will be here to support you to be able to validate who you feel you are, who you are becoming. And sometimes we do need that validation. It would be an ideal world if We knew exactly who we are, and we didn't need any validation, but we do need that from time to time. And that makes us wonderfully human. So those aspects were coming, and all of this is coming as a carry forward energy from last week. uh, Going on to the next part, I want to now look at the vision for this week. And as we tune into the vision of this week, there may be some archetypes that come through. There may be some visions that come through, and of course, also all those of you who've been watching these lives, you know that it doesn't mean that it is going to be very literal. It may be sometimes, but it's usually very symbolic, and the layers or meanings unravel in layers. So no pressure to understand everything right away, just to sit back, relax, and enjoy the energetic attunements that are also coming in as a part of this channeling. So, if you're able to close your eyes and sit in this space, I welcome that. But if you're not in a position to do that, maybe you're walking, maybe you've put your headphones on, but there are people around you. Whatever your situation is, if you can close your eyes, I welcome that. Otherwise, you can just listen to this and go on a meditative journey later by watching the replay. So, as we tune into this message, I am starting to see beautiful colors emerging. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing a lot of watercolor energy. So it's very subtle, it's very ethereal in its visual texture. But at this point, I'm seeing a lot of electric energy. So there's an electric red, and this electric red in a very dark background, like almost like a very deep night. It's almost midnight kind of energy, and within this midnight, there's these red electric energies, like lightning, red lightning energies that are going about. As they're spreading, I'm also hearing different sounds. These sounds are they almost have a song to them, but it's again very metallic. So it could sound like like a guitar, but many guitars working harmoniously with each other, and in that harmony, it really sounds beautiful. So it's aligning, it's realigning, and there's an energy of remembrance. So now I'm seeing, this is really random, but I'm actually seeing a teddy bear, almost like a teddy bear that one had, this protagonist, this collective protagonist had used as a childhood companion. This childhood companion is floating about and getting kind of like stuck in these cross wires of these red electrical energies, and as this is happening, the songs start to change. The songs that were melodious, they were harmonious, but still there was this real, like it sounded good but it didn't feel good. That is now starting to change, because the effect of the sound is now starting to impact the colors coming into this field. And the midnight starts to turn into this period like a 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's very significant, because it's showing me that many of you have been waking up around 3, the last couple of days, or it could have been, the last couple of weeks. This has become a pattern for many here. So if you're one of those people that has been, waking up at 3 in the morning, and then you look around, you look at the time, or you look at your phone, and then you go back to sleep, or just go to the loo, drink some water, and go back to sleep. This is that time when something very significant is happening. So I'm seeing in this collective Akashic field, suddenly some ancient archetypes are emerging. Now, this particular archetype, I don't have a name for this archetype, but it does look like a very warrior kind of energy from a very ancient India. So maybe it's because I'm here in this land, or it's a collective field, and this archetype is contributing to all of us from this area, this aspect. So this energy is coming in. This is a warrior energy from an ancient India, somebody who's a royal, who has the responsibility of taking care of many people, protecting many people. So that energy is stepping in. And as this energy is stepping in, there's a very high level of integrity. There's a high level of honesty, and sticking to the path, being aligned and unquestionably aligned with the path. So this warrior energy is moving forward, and is sitting on a horse. So, this horse and this warrior is just kind of one, their routine. So as they're walking through, I think we've seen a horse many times in our visions in the last couple of weeks. So this is interesting. It has come up again. I think we were seeing it a lot in February. So what, think about what was happening in February this year for you. Some of those patterns are coming back for you to look at. Maybe they are repeating, maybe they're echoes of whatever happened in February. So there is kind of like that echoing energy of February. And as this energy is moving forward, the music starts to change, the setting starts to change, and the 3 o'clock energy is actually becoming a divine trinity. Now, in every culture, divine trinity looks different and feels different. No, it looks different, but it feels the same. So whether it is the divine trinity of the masculine, divine trinity of the um, of the soul, or it could be the divine feminine. So all of these aspects, if you look in any culture, they have threes. So if you look at Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, you look at the creator, the nurturer, the 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 redeemer. These are the three energies in traditional Hindu culture, where or Sanatan culture, where you have Brahma, who is the creator. Vishnu is the energy. Vishnu, who comes in the form of Rama or Krishna, he's the energy of the nurturer, and then we have the destroyer or the redeemer, who is the energy of Shiva. You also have the divine feminine trinity of the goddesses, the ancient goddesses. Now, if you look at the three Miriams, the three Marys, if you look at Isis, Sekhmet, and Hathor from the ancient Egyptian time, and actually they were even there during the Atlantean time. Their names and vibrations were very they sounded very different, but the energy was the same. And even in traditional Indian aspects, uh, there is Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga, or Durga or Kali. They are one and the same. So the Holy Trinity is really stepping forward. So the time that feels like something is wrong with me is actually the time of something is awakening within me. So if there is a message within you where you're doubting yourself, where you feel afraid that you're going out of track or things are not working out, they're getting stuck, things are murky, that's actually, you may be very closer than you imagine to the aspects that you want in your life to be expanded. So look, think of the aspects of your life that keep you up at night. So it could be like one conversation that didn't go really well through the day. It could be one dream that you have, but you're really putting in a lot of effort to make it come true. Or it could be one thing that you're getting stuck at, and there's an obstacle for you, and you're really trying to solve that, but you can't solve that by just keeping your eyes open and then lying down on bed and just keep looking at the ceiling. So this energy is about that moment when your gallbladder and your liver in traditional Chinese medicine, that's the 3 o'clock energy. That's when your gallbladder and liver are getting restored and detoxed and kind of like rearranged and prepared for the next day. So when this liver and gallbladder energy is working through you, this is also the Holy Trinity that is holding the complexity of these systems within you. So if you are one of those, like I can see, Matthew, you've been waking up at 3 in the morning, like myself, and maybe a few others. Um, this is the time to really think of the archetypes of the threes. So, whoever the three archetypes may be in your mind, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, or the three goddesses, or the three gods, or however it comes to you, or just three intersecting lights in a triangle, and creating one equilateral triangle. It could be even sacred geometry. Think of that, or try to put that in front of you. And if it's really hard to remember that at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can even like kind of draw it and keep it next to close to your bedside. So when you wake up at 3 or around that time, just look at that picture, or keep something next to you that reminds you of Holy Trinity, and then allow that energy. Just send a very sincere and innocent prayer to allow these energies to work through you. Because I'm seeing that this power of three, this energy of three, is allowing things to expand and multiply within your field. And things that felt stagnating are actually now expanding. Now, if you look at the three intersecting triangles, we're going to do a little, very, very basic geometry today. So you look at three intersecting triangles and you connect their center points, and these triangles are like, sorry, three intersecting circles and their center points are joined and it creates an equilateral triangle. That's kind of the basis of the Pythagoras theorem, right? So if you look at that, you don't have to understand all this. If you know it's too much math for today. So just imagine an equilateral triangle with three circles whose edges are meeting. This is actually a definition of, it's called the vesica piscis. The vesica piscis is the different formation. Sorry, that's different. This triangle is actually this sacred womb energy. It's the energy of where everything is created. So if you have to put like a geometric story to what happened and how creation was created, this triangle actually comes where creation started. So remember the carry forward energy from last week. All the sessions I've been having have been related to women wanting to give birth, or people going through their pregnancy experience and wanting that to become smooth, or contemplating having a child or second child. So there was that energy. And if you have a second child, think of what you were going through when you were having the second child, something significant that happened in your life. Maybe you had a dream, maybe you had a special blessing that came to you, or maybe certain things started to expand about who you are, and that awareness is relevant for you right now. All of those things are coming up, and this creation energy is allowing you to expand that aspect of yourself. Now, within this very sacred space of waking up at 3, thinking about the trees, and really sending out a vision to create something, sending out a wish, a sincere and innocent wish to create something, and just going back to sleep again, that's allowing for things to settle, not just for the next week. It's allowing a reorientation and reorganizing of your Akash for the next 10 months, they say. So let's see what 10 months will be from now. So it's June. So it's 1st of June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. So 2027 April, let's mark that time on our calendar. Let's see what emerges then from what you are sowing now. So if you've started a creative project, or you're wondering about creating something new, especially something that is related to autonomy, maybe you've been employed with somebody, or you've collaborated or partnered with somebody, but now you want to do things yourself. This is going to be the time. This is the best time to sow the seeds for that. Now, for each person, sowing the seeds will look differently. For some, it will mean going and getting a GST number, getting your registration papers done, and registering the business name or opening a bank account. For others, it'll really be ideating on what you want out of this vision for yourself and energetically stepping into the vortex of it. However it is coming for you, allow it to be with you in that way. And resistance may come in. You may think that, oh, no, 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 making a business plan is boring for me, I'm not going to do that, I'll do something else. I would just lovingly ask you to go and really observe what your first thought is. Maybe that's where the clue is. So many things are happening in our life at the moment, and there are two things that are walking side by side, like almost like parallel tracks. These parallel train tracks are, one is your professional life and how you're sharing your sacred service with the world, and everything is sacred. It's not that somebody who has a spiritual business is the only one who does sacred work at a bank, that is sacred. You are a gardener, that is sacred. Everything that you do with a sense of service is sacred, and that's really how you're able to translate your cosmic information in the physical realm. So that's really what they're showing me, that to acknowledge the sacredness within what you do at this point of time. Our planet needs that from you, and that's why you're doing that. But it's also time for it to have more autonomy. So if there are things that you can shift, there are things that you can expand and adapt, then there is an invitation towards that. Now, as all of this is happening, those red electric energies have started to subside. And actually, now it looks like that was actually us sitting inside the liver. And this was kind of the circulation happening inside the liver, the red electric lines. Those were the energetic currents that are happening inside the liver. The liver is actually an extremely complex organ in our body, and many of you would know that it is the most complex organ in our body. It's even more complex than the heart. It's got so many functions that we are still beginning to understand what the liver actually does. We still don't know the whole thing, just like we don't know all the functions of a DNA and all the strands of a DNA, what would they do if they were all activated? It's the same way. The liver is a really, really powerful thing. So allow the liver and the gallbladder energy to really open up this creative space for you, the seeding of new things, so that you can expand from it. Now the vision is coming to a close, and kind of at the end of the vision, I'm seeing the end of a rainbow. So he also hearing the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I know that this is kind of like a grieving song, and I feel like there may be some grief that you're healing, and sometimes the obstacle is the grief of things that could have been but they couldn't be, the grief of things that were but are not here anymore, and the grief of all the potential aspects that are now needing to close because that's not going to happen anymore. So, the grief of the past, present, and future timelines, the grief of losing people, places, or even versions of yourself that are no longer the same. You know, there was some aspect of you that was so innocent and, in a way, naive compared to who you are now. And that's why the world seemed simpler and less complex for you. And now, because you know more, you have the complexity to understand the different sensitivities, the different dynamics, the different signals coming through different things. You wish that, oh my God, I wish life was simpler. So it's also the little and the subtle grieving of those the simpler aspects of yourself. So as this grief is happening, and as I'm hearing the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I'm seeing the end of the rainbow. There is really now a somber energy. This somber energy is kind of like allowing you to really sit with that hidden grief that has been sitting with you for a while, but now it's time for it to um, start flowing and completing its cycle and completing its loop. Because if your the grief that is coming up is met with an understanding of release, then the loop is complete. But if the grief is coming up but you feel like, oh no, I don't know how to handle it, let me just get myself to be more busy, or let me just uh, talk about other things, or um, let me distract myself by focusing on something else in my life, or even a micro aspect that is no longer related to me right now, then we are still avoiding there's still an avoidance phase of the grief. So this is really the invitation to go into it and go through it. There is the only way to get on the other side is to go through it, especially with this aspect of the end of the rainbow. And here, whenever I see the rainbow, I always see jaguar energy. Now, the shamanic aspect of the jaguar and the archetype of the jaguar, I talk about him a lot. And that is because the jaguar has been so helpful for me in my personal life as an archetype, as an energetic archetype, especially with the womb space, to assist me with looking at parts of myself that I didn't want to see, to to also give a chance to things in my life that I didn't want to give a chance before. And it's a part that gives me courage, and this is the courage that it is imparting to all of us. If this feels aligned for you, this jaguar is giving you the courage, this jaguar is giving you this emotional steady presence. This time the jaguar is not coming to give you fearlessness or discernment, or any of those typical things that I talk about with the jaguar. This time the jaguar is coming as a companion in grief. Many people tell me that when you're going through grief, you don't know what to tell the other person. How do you console them? How do you comfort them? uh, the jaguar energy is telling us that in those moments when somebody is distressed in any kind of a way, whether it is grief of a person or grief of any, losing a version of themselves, or any kind of a distress that they may be feeling. And I know I'm using the word distress here, so it's one of those feelings that you can't actually ignore. It'll come up and you'll know about it if it comes up. Um, this grief energy is going to be witnessed by this jaguar archetype. So in your dream state, in your walking state, in your waking state, allow this jaguar to just walk beside you as this very steady, strong presence of a feline energy. If you look at a feline, there's no dearth of confidence. This feline energy is so strong, and it just allows uh, things to happen. They feel very like, we always joke about how if a cat does something wrong, it'll actually tease you and do something even further. But if a does something wrong, it'll just kind of like sulk a little bit, avoid eye contact and things like that. It was a very cute meme that I saw the other day. So it's that kind of an energy. It's the cat energy. The cat energy is unapologetic. The cat energy, especially when you don't need to apologize for things. So it's a really a self-assured energy. Yeah, unapologetic would be a little bit like, oh, do you need to apologize for something and you're not apologizing? So this is the positive aspects of unapologetic, and it is also this energy of really self-assured aspect of you. So that's the end of this. That's kind of the how the week completes. So for anybody, this may happen in a different order. You may start through grief and go on the other side with creation, or you can start with seeding creation ideas and going through grief by the end of the parts of you that are old or things that you need to let go, or all of it may be happening at the same time. So it depends on what your higher self and what your soul is choosing through the journey. But the medicine is the same for all. The aspect of this great warrior energy is stepping in. The aspects of many beings who have been on the physical land where you live are coming in. So the deva energy, the devas are the beings, the elemental beings, the devas of the land. They come in to assist you. So if you're living in a home for a long time, it's kind of like your energy is attuned with the energy of the devas in the house, the elementals in the house. So many of you who've tuned in live today, like Julie, you know about this because you've all been connected to these really beautiful elemental energies, the fairy energies, the elvish energies, the Devic energies. These energies come in and they assist you, but they also have some really interesting traits. Now, I don't exactly know where in Western Europe, but there are brownies. Now, brownies are beings that come to help you in the house. They are home energies. They're kind of tree spirits. They're kind of tree bark spirit energies, home energies. But you're not supposed to thank them. If you thank them, they get upset. So that was a very interesting thing that one of my very dear friends had shared with me at one point. And you start to interact with these energies this week. So you might observe that you kept your key here, and then by the time you went, you picked something up, it's kind of like in a slightly different place. You might even kind of gaslight yourself, saying, "Oh, actually, I moved it a little bit, or it must have moved when I walked away," and things like that. But if you like to believe in magic, then there is potential for you to see different situations where that magic does exist. So that Devic energy is really stepping in. The elemental energy is stepping in to support you this week. There's a lot of grounding this week, and there's an invitation to say less and be present more. Now, I know that last week the overall theme was being present, and everything was, nothing is like the present moment, so be in the present moment, that kind of energy. This week, it takes it one step further by saying that you're present in this land, you're present in the place where you are. So if you're sitting in your office, then that connection with the land there. If you're sitting at home, in the park, wherever you go, you're connecting with the place. Now, some of you will say, Samriddhi, I'm traveling, so do I connect with the aircraft? Do I connect with the car that I'm driving in? So you pick what is coming up for you. I would suggest, like, if you're driving to a place, then you take a full region in your mind and ask that region to be your companion. So from point A to point B, that whole region, let that be your companion, and you allow that energy to flow with you, because the land energy is here to assist you. So all the material needs, all the material questions that you have, the material aspirations that you have, things that you want to materialize as well, all of those things are being assisted by these beautiful elemental beings of the earth in this week. So I'm now going to bring in some light language activation. And in the meantime, you can leave some comments. You can share with me what has come up for you about the vision that I shared this week. No pressure to understand it fully, because I was seeing it from the Akashic Vision. If there is something that is coming up for you, please, you're very welcome to share it. And if you're sharing your visions with me in comments, I will reply to them later in the replay as well. So I'm bringing through some light language activation to assist us with aligning with the best and the highest energies for this week, to make the most of all the templates that are coming up for this week, and the blessings and the bounty of blessings that are created for us this week. So, welcome everyone who's joining. Allow yourself to simply receive. Anasala kotoroshi ala inasarakasha asi atakasha a. If you have experience with listening to light language, you might find that when people are, when the elementals step in, there's always this energy of very childlike, very joyful energy. So, my light language today may sound a little bit different from our usual. So, let this be whatever it needs to be, because I feel like that bubbly energy is coming through us now. Yalana shikaratuku si sasarakala shina sahasha asalanashu ura salasha. As soon as this light language started coming in, a beautiful gush of wind is even flowing with us. Yahashiarala nasuru tukunushuka salanasha. This gush of wind is a relief. Yana Shurula Nasarasha Asaraka. The theme of this week also has the word relief within it. Yana Surutuku, Shiana Sala, Atakasha, Onusuru, Utala, Aisha, Sara Asha, Anasala. These elemental beings, they love interacting with Pleiadians. So we also have the Pleiadian energy stepping in this week. So we'll need to check the astrological alignment of what is happening on our planet with Pleiades this week. Yana shara asala tuku nasti isha asala kutu unusuru sha asara a asara a. Yasha Lanasuru Ushunasru Shanasaraka. Now, this beautiful grounding energy from the Pleiadian beings is stepping in. This is from a star system called Electra. Electra is one of the seven sisters within Pleiades, and this energy is very technologically advanced. This is very conscientious and conscious about using technology, and there's a lot of uh, I'm seeing this group of beings from Pleiades that are coming in. I know this group. They've come in for a lot of emotional healing through technology. Nasalashu no suruku nashu salanasha asa. So this week you might find a reel that pops up on your phone that gives you the message that you were looking for, that kind of resonates with you. This week you might actually use technology to assist you to uh, to bring emotional healing to others. Maybe you're just picking up your car to drive and take it to a place that supports others. So that there is a balance. There's a use of technology for emotional healing, and this is the blessing and the safety for use of that technology. Yana suru shulunu shia sana sha'ana salana sha. And they'll say that, by the way, machines are also a consciousness. It's just a different consciousness compared to us. Remember, when I don't know if we'll remember because it didn't happen in our lifetime, but as a soul, you might remember that when humanity was still new, there were theories whether plants still are alive. Of course, they are, right? So there is a machine consciousness that when things start to click together and they start to function in a cycle, they may not be life and consciousness the way we know it. They may not be sentient consciousness the way we know it, but they are a kind of consciousness. That's why the use of technology is also something that needs to be done with the grace and sacredness as we do other things. Yalanashuru sianashu anasa alanasha. This is bringing up, as they're bringing this message. I'm looking at this thing that is celebrated in India. It's called Vishu, Vishwakarma. I think it's also called Ayut Puja, different parts of India. And it is the day when you pray to the tools and technology that is making your life easy. All the tools, all the technology is taken out of the house. Everything is washed or cleaned, and then including laptops. So you don't wash your laptop, obviously. So it's cleaned and it's brought outside, and everything is prayed to, and everything, there's a god of technology, and we ask the god of technology to bless all of the tools to assist us to live on a path of alignment. So that energy is stepping in as well. Yanasuru shalanasa atakanasuru shunusula shi anasa. So the use of technology for emotional healing this week. Yanashulana sarashu uinasaranasha asala yanasa. And to process grief. Yana shurukunasa, there is assistance here. Yalanasu isala a shiana sarashunuku. And for the processing of grief, for the processing of complex emotions that may come during the week, if they come at all. I hope they don't. for you. If they do, then there is assistance, and the assistance is the breath. Yalanashu isaranashu inasaranasha. The breath that allows you to take spaciousness, the breath that allows you to not feel like you need to complete it, figure it out right away. Yana Suruku, to buy yourself time. Yana Shunu Suruku. And they're saying that this is a universal message for us all. Buy yourself time for at least 3 to 6 weeks. If you have something complex that you're dealing with, you don't have to figure it out today and right now. Yana Shulunu Suku. Sometimes the most elegant and graceful thing that you can do is just buy more time. And time allows you to and guides you to deal with those things in a graceful and gentle way rather than you know, ripping the rug off the feet. I, I'm not using the phrase correctly, but you know what I mean. Yala Nasurashi Anasala Isha Kanasa Asha Anasarasha. So now, as the vision is coming to completion, the Pleiadians are here to assist us, the Devic energies, the elemental energies of the elves, the fairies, the brownies is all coming in, and except for the brownies, because brownies don't like to be thanked, we thank everyone else. We appreciate all of them as they are starting to bless the timelines for this week, for each one tuning into this message. All the options and all the timelines are receiving that love and energy. Yana Salasha. Thank you so much, Aditi. You're so sweet. Blue avians too. Absolutely. Yes, you saw that. Yes. Yalana Sharasa. And by the way, if you're watching this live on Instagram, Aditi is a beautiful light language channel. I highly recommend you go to her channel. She's just such a lovely and beautiful soul, and her language really opens so much. It just opens my heart. So if you feel called, please tune into her messages as well. Yalana shurusu itana sa ashaha, yalana tukura sa ashiana sarashu isaha. So this blue avian energy is just also very beautiful. That's also coming in to bless us. Yanasha anasaranasha. And this is coming to a completion. As the messages for this week are coming to a completion, I'm so grateful and thankful for all the people who've come in and tuned into this message. It does mean so much to me. I appreciate you all so much that every week you commit yourself to come and tune into this message, whether live or the replay on YouTube, and you allow this to be one of the supporting things that keeps you aligned on in your akash. And each one of us doing our work, helping the collective and Mama Gaia in this beautiful phase of growth and expansion that we are in. So, thank you so much. And for all those of you who would like to journey with me individually in a one on one session, I do have limited slots as I'm traveling, but they are still all in my calendar. So please go straight to my calendar and book your session if you'd like, or just reach out to me. And also, I would love to know how this message is taking you. So I'd love to receive your comments, your insights, your sharings. I really love to hear all of that from you. Have a beautiful, beautiful week ahead and so much love. Oh, also, I'm doing the monthly live on Friday, and Friday 7:30 p.m. Sydney time. I still have to calculate what that is in Indian time right now. I'll be in India at that time too. So please, if you would like to join us in the collective Akashic meditation, you're so welcome. This time the energies are really, I mean, each time it's going to be different because I'm just so grateful that such lovely beings join these gatherings. So there's some really profound energy coming from ancient goddesses from India that our collective consciousness is bringing to an awareness now. So we're going to work with these ancient energies. So if you'd like to join, I'll leave the link to the monthly meditation in this YouTube live description as well. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. And yeah, I'm just very grateful that we get to do this. See you. Namaste. I'll just end this on YouTube.